What's up, guys? So today it's gonna be a little bit of a different video. It's gonna be like casual, just me sitting here doing a Q&A. There's a lot of new people here, so I want to do a reintroduction. My name's Travis, and traveling full-time since 2017 out of a ProMaster van. Not this one. I had a low-roof version of this van, and I sold it this last summer. Moved into a Jeep Patriot, traveled for a few months on the West Coast. Beginning of February, sold the Jeep, traded it for this van that I've been saving for a long time. So this is a 2020 Ram ProMaster 2500 high roof, 159 wheelbase. I want to convert it into little office, studio, workspace, livable space, off-grid, everything. I have a dog, Sam. Come here. This is Sam. We travel together. He's 6. And I got him as a puppy. It's been a good time. So you can go back and check out our old videos if you want. Welcome to my channel. So first off, where are we? We are back down in California and down in San Diego. So I am staying at an Airbnb through March while I get this van project on its way. But definitely plan on showing you guys that process, and so you can kind of see it evolve over the course of the build. So in the last video I made showing me buying this van, I didn't really talk about the numbers that much. I wanted to leave it more for the story. Just full transparency, I paid just over $30,000 for the van. It has 30,000 miles on it, currently 34,000 because I just drove across the entire country with it. I bought it in Manchester, New Hampshire, a really awesome dealership that I found. And that I want to go into that process real quick as well. They, lease these vans out to companies like Amazon, brand new, and so they are the first owner of them. And then they buy back after they've been broke in a little bit. They buy back the best ones and then resell them. So that's how I came across them. And one thing I found is they aren't that easy to come by. They're very high demand vehicles. Seem like they're all popping up out east. But thankfully I found these guys and they knew my situation. I told them I was going to be flying across the country to come look at it, and they were able to hold it for me. They didn't even put it on the website. It wasn't even listed. So if you saw in my video, you saw that I had to wait a few weeks for the van to even be ready for me to go look at. And that's because, yes, I had it held and they did a walkthrough with me, but he was like, I'm warning you, it just came in, so it's still dirty. It's still got dust and stuff from the previous driver and everything. And so I'm like, that's cool, just, So he's like, don't look too close at it, but just, he wanted to show me where it was at. And I'm like, okay. And so what they do with it is, they inspect it. The state of New Hampshire has a pretty rigorous inspection process. It's got to pass so much for them to even be able to sell it through the dealership. So they had to inspect it. They had to take it to a body shop to get a couple of the kinks out of the back. He showed me the little dents that were in it. Took care of that. Touched up everything. They cleaned the inside. Basically, they said they just had to process it. Thankfully, it all worked out in the end, and I went out on the 11th, I think it was the day I flew out, got the van, and if you missed that video, I'll link it, check it out. It was kind of a fun story. Flew out there and then drove back to Nebraska, picked Sam up, and then I picked Sam up, and then we made it down to San Diego. So I literally drove across the country with this van. One thing about this van, it's going to be a little different than the last van because, the last one, I think of it as that was my learning van. I didn't know what I was doing, but I still went for it and did the build out mostly by myself. I really learned a lot on the last van, and so I plan on taking what I learned from that build and, doing the things that I wish I would have done in this build that I didn't get to in the last one. That comes down to materials, the types of, components I'm gonna put into it, the style of it, and everything like that. So basically what you see in this van is gonna be kind of what's been manifesting for a long time. And I feel like if you take one good look at the van when it's done, you're gonna kind of get to know me, if that makes sense. Because that's what I love about these custom builds is you kind of get to know who the owner is just by looking at the vehicle itself, so that's kind of cool. But it was a long road to get here, and it feels so good. I'm planning on designing this thing with productivity and creativity in mind. It's going to be more of like a creative space for me to go with the ability to live in it second, if that makes sense. A really contemporary, modern feel, I feel like. So I'm going for a really clean, simple, minimalist, calming environment for me to, you know, create more for you guys, create more for my clients, and just have that space to get lost in work. Because for me, a lot of times it's like, for me to be creative and productive, I have to kind of have that space to go to, and that's something that I really want to do with this van. So just to give you an idea of my goals for that, that's kind of where my head's at. As far as the build process goes, I mean, there are so many videos and resources online now with this model of van in particular that I'm, you know, accessing and using, and I'm definitely pulling from, you know, different avenues, but I'm going to show you guys kind of my process as I go. So you guys are going to get to see me learn as I go and figure things out and screw things up, I'm sure, but we're going to learn together. I have done this once before, but that does not make me an expert. I just know what I've learned. I'm learning from my own mistakes, and I have to go through it again. I'm sure I'm gonna have to relearn a lot. I can kind of wrap my head around the whole process now and grasp build and stuff and what it takes, what all goes into the build. Because before I literally just was like, now what? What's next? It went through phases because I was just like, it was all so new to me. That's probably gonna do it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do more of these sit-down casual videos with you guys. I certainly love it because it gives me a chance to really share more into my brain with you guys. I think it's cool to break down that barrier. You know, a lot of these videos are really fast and fun and they kind of go quick and it's like me in the moment, but sometimes it's fun to slow down and just chat and like see what's going on. Just let me know if there's something you're wondering about my lifestyle, my work, anything. Sam, traveling with a dog, that's a lot. You know, might be cool to get some ideas for future videos as well. So just let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in episode 1 of The Build. See you then. Thanks for watching.